Hello, and welcome back to the 2002 version of the Twilight Zone, which we find ourselves in One Night at Mercy, starring Jason Alexander, who we have seen in Seinfeld and Pretty Woman and all kinds of stuff. He does comedic acting really quite well, and this is sort of a more dark thing. I wonder if anyone took this seriously because it was him, and if another death would have done another job of it. I personally like the way that he portrays death, but that could just be me. Before we get into it though, this is something for the entire season, this typeface. It is so late 90s, early 2000s, and it is so cool, and it's so hip, and it's so ugly. Yuck. Now, the hospital, very weird, very big room, very few beds. If this had been a modern hospital, they would have probably sectioned that off to get more wall space, have more beds in the same area. That's just what I'm thinking. The idea of having a deathless world, which is something that comes up in this episode, is something that it happens in fiction every once in a while. Particularly, there is one season of Torchwood that does this to quite a stunning degree. And while people there don't actually flatline and die, they're like horrible burn victims, and people get blown up by grenades and stuff, but they cannot die. So these burn victims, what they could have done is like they just refuse to die. Their hearts are still beating despite everything, and they're in terrifying agony or something. I think that could have been a more interesting take on it, but that's just me. Why is there a bench on the roof? I mean, I get how the doctors might come up there, but then there would be like a chair or two chairs that they would just carry upstairs. This is a park bench. It's a fairly difficult thing to lug around, and yet they've stored it on the roof. There's no railing, no nothing. I don't particularly like that lack of detail. I would have had it some other way. That wilting of the flower, not particularly great, because the flower is, of course, motion locked in the frame, but there's a camera jiggle, so the flower looks like it's moving, which it shouldn't. Or at least should be motion tracked with the camera movement itself. Finally, they walk off the ledge, and it's just a green screen, but I do want to make notice of the fantastic detail of the doctor doing this to avoid the pillar. Good work. He didn't walk through it. They didn't make a thing of him walking through it. He actually makes a thing of turning to avoid it. I like that. It's nice. Next week, we're talking racial guilt, and I look forward to seeing you then. Take care now.